Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. Hey, if you're new here, we sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our Instagram at Carry and Cut and also our Patreon at Carry and Cut. We sure do appreciate all your guys' support, and all the proceeds of that are going to go directly back into the channel to buy new knives and new equipment to hopefully make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today we are going to be looking at the Spyderco Yojimbo. I'm not sure if this is the Yojimbo 2 or not. I think it is the Yojimbo 2. We're going to do a quick little mini review, I guess you could say, on this thing, and we're going to tear this knife apart and see what the inner workings are. I know this, I'm kind of interested to see what this detent system is like. I'm having a hard time getting the reverse. Oh, there it was. Got the reverse flick on it somewhat, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get some little bit of specs on this thing, and we're not going to talk too much about the whole specs and comparisons. We really just want to dive in and see what this thing is working with. So we're looking at right about from tip to butt of the knife, we're a little over 7.5, almost 7 3/4. Blade length is looking just shy of 3.5. Sharpened edge is right at the 3-inch mark. Do a little size comparisons here. We can get definitely not a small knife by any stretch of the imagination, but feels really good in the hand. So there's the Spyderco PM2. Sorry about that, guys. There's the Spyderco PM2. The PM2 is definitely a little bit longer than that. Carry profile, I'm not sure. They say, of course, these are titanium scales. I'm not sure where Steven got these scales. This is another one of Steven's knives, so I want everybody to give a big shout out to him. It's awesome that he sends this stuff into us to take a look at. You know, it really helps out the channel and brings some more content and quality, well, variety for you guys. So let's go ahead and get the weight's going to be kind of irrelevant on this one also because of the fact that it does have titanium scales. I think normally it comes like a G10 sort of scale. So let's go ahead, and of course all the stuff that I have here on the table is going to be linked down in the description below. So my Torx bit, my Torx drivers, Locktite, KPL. You can got my sharpening center over there. I'm going to try to polish the washers up on this thing. So let's go ahead and get our T6 out, and we're going to take out these pocket clip screws. Of course, everybody need to be careful taking out your clip screws. Easily stripped. Don't want to mess with that too much. So we really don't want that to happen. I think this knife would be cool with a deep carry clip too. On every Spyderco that I've seen, I like to have the deep carry clip on them. So let's go ahead and set that in our little magnetic tray back there off camera. How about that right there? We'll put that in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and loosen up the pivot a little bit on the compression lock side. So on this side, the pivot is indexed. It's got like a little D-shaped dude, and it holds it in on that side. So let's go ahead and get our T10 out. And we're going to loosen that up just a little bit. And then we're going to start, oop, I didn't even mean to take it out, but let's go and screw that in just a little bit. This is, of course, personal preference. You can do whatever you'd like to do. Let's go ahead and start here at the end, and we're going to work our way back. So there's one. And I'm not sure exactly. Steven didn't know. I don't think he knew the brand of these scales. So we'll have to ask him about that and hopefully see what he says about that, if he can remember what these actually were. So we're gonna go ahead and get those lined up side by side. Make sure we knew which ones go where. Get that one out of there. These this should be definitely pretty simple to take apart, especially since there's no lanyard hole in this, like with that little lanyard dude that sometimes they have. Okay, so other videos I've seen, they just pop right out of there. So that's our pivot right there. We'll put that behind the Locktite. Go ahead and move this stuff out of the way for now. Oh, didn't want to stand up on me. Okay, so here's our compression lock bar side. Compression lock. We'll try to get our alcohol and our Q-tips out. Can't forget that. So let's go ahead and get a little bit in this cap here. Perfect. Just so we have something to wipe down with. All right, get a couple Q-tips out for cleaning. And we'll set that off to the side. All right. Of course, we're just gonna wipe down our inside of our titanium scale. These things are actually very lightweight and a lot of milling done on the inside, so that is awesome. Keep the weight down. It also gives the knife a little bit of extra girth, I guess you could say. It really seems nice there. So pretty cool. Get all that crud and gunk out of there. There's definitely a little bit of excess oil and some good old pocket lint going on in there. So sorry, have you guys off screen again. Really try to take nice care of these knives for Steven. Really would like to get them all kind of fixed up for him and see what is going on right there. A little bit of paper stuck in there. Maybe that was hindering the action a little bit. I feel like it seemed like it wasn't as good of action as it could have been. So with that one cleaned up pretty good for him, and wipe that down again. A little scrubby scrub. Okay, perfect. That one's shining. All right, and here's our actual compression lock side. So let's go ahead and try to get that off of there pretty easy like. All right, definitely a lot of oil in there, which is definitely not a bad thing. We'll keep that thing nice and lubed up. And there's our detent ball right there on our, maybe that's what was having such a, these things do have a surprisingly stiff detent, which I wasn't really expecting when I first opened this knife up in the package that Steven sent. I was kind of surprised by how stiff the detent was. Sorry, I keep getting you guys off camera again. Like I was saying, I was surprised at how stiff the actual detent was to get it started. I was having a little bit of an issue getting the little Spidey flick going on, the reverse flick. So I was really more interested to see just what the inner workings of the actual knife was and see how it operated. I know, of course, you're my PM2. It's kind of similar in ways. So this is definitely a more tactical inspired knife, I guess you could say. All right, there's one of them. Okay, now we're working into our blade. Oh, well, that wasn't even tight to the, it's kind of strange. All right, let's get our blade off there. There's one washer. And there we're gonna pop our, see if we can loosen our pivot up over here too. See, this one wasn't even tight. Let's go ahead and try to snug that up real quick with our T8. There we go. I like to try to just clean that up as much as we can, and then mess with that side too much. We could take it out of there, I guess, though. So there's our other side of our pivot. We'll set him over there. They appear to be the same exact size. So of course, then your washers, they run on this, well, I guess the blade rides in the middle of that one, and then the washers are snugged up on the outside of the pivot there. So we'll go ahead and set that off there for now. Oh, heck with it. Let's just take it off there and get it a real nice clean for him. Okay, so this is going to be our top one towards the pivot. And that's exactly what this one was up here. We're going to take our, I guess that's a barrel spacer. Booger don't want to come out of there though. We'll take this one off there. Oop. You can kind of hold it with your finger. If they're not too tight, you can hold your barrel spacer with your finger there and kind of get it off there. All right, so there's one of them. Let's see if we can get this one, this other back one. It was already loose. Okay, there's another one. Barrel spacer. I don't know why this guy doesn't want to come off there. He might be snugged into the actual liner. It looks like that one is definitely part of the liner. I'm glad I took that off there. There's a nice sheen of oil going on that one. So let's go ahead and get this one cleaned up for him too. I'm gonna leave that barrel spacer locked in there where it's at. Really don't want to mess with that one too much if we don't have to. Just makes things a little easier, especially if they're stuck in there real bad. Don't want to force anything. Like I said, these are not my knives. These are Steven's knives, so give a big shout out to him. I'm just trying to get these all cleaned up and ready for him to use again. So definitely awesome that he is helping us here at the channel and giving us cool stuff to show you guys. So let's go ahead and wipe this side up here. Nice little scrub. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Much more better on that one. All right, now how about we get the inside of the scale cleaned up. I really do like the look of these titanium scales. I like just about anything titanium anyway, so to see the titanium Yojimbo 2, that is just super awesome. Definitely cool. We'll go ahead and we'll put this scale back together first before we get too carried away on anything. So let's get that all cleaned up, polish him up. Okay, awesome. That one looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. We'll worry about we're gonna polish our washers too, and we'll clean the blade up. Let's go ahead and do that first and get our blade all cleaned up. At least get some of the oil and the residue off of it. It's a nice S30V coated blade. So I'm not sure what actual coating, if it's a PVD or a DLC coating that Spyderco does on their knives. I've never seen so many coated blades until Steven sent these over for us to look at. He really does like the coated blades on there, so I'm not sure what those numbers mean, the 921C, but there's for our detent ball right there on the blade, so that's pretty cool. I've read comments that these detents are exceptionally strong on these knives, so very cool. Okay, all right. Well, we just go ahead and give our washers a nice polish here. I'm using the 1200 grit side of our diamond stone. Just use a real light, you know, rubbing on these. Try to get them just a new polished edge on them. Not polished edge, but polished surface for a blade to ride on. You can really see the difference that it makes. And you can definitely feel it too when you're actually using the knife with your phosphor bronze washers. When you actually do have a nice polished bearing, I think it makes a good world of difference. And personally, I like the feel of a nice polished bearing also. So you can see the difference right there. Nothing too crazy. You know, we're not trying to take any material off by any stretch. We're just trying to take the patina off the top of them and try to just get a new, not even a new mating surface, just something nice and smooth for the blade to run on. So I think that should work pretty good right there. Okay, let's go ahead and get some assembling going on here. All right, we're gonna take this side right here. This is the compression lock side. This is just the standard side. So let's go ahead and throw that in right there. We're gonna use our two back screws right here. Oh. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw we'll by hand thread our backspacer on there. Then we'll get our T8 and we'll snug that down while we're holding this one. Might have to use at this point it might be good to get your Leatherman out. And also always, even on my own knives, I like to put something in the jaws there, and we'll go ahead and clamp down on that backspacer just so we can get, you know, we're not scarring up the actual really don't want to mess with the coating or put any sort of crazy marks that could happen going on with the backspacer there. Oop, about lost a screw. Don't want to do that. So we'll go ahead and we'll thread this one back on too. Just get it started by your fingers. Definitely don't want to cross thread any of these. Okay, right there, we got that going. Get our T8 back out. Here we go. All right, let's try to get that one snug down again also if we can. So just put a little rag or even put a little tape on the end of your Leatherman there on your pliers, and that should work just well. So get a nice grip of it and just snug that up right, just like so. Nothing crazy, you know, just a little bit on there. And of course this one was stuck into the blade there. So let's go ahead and run this one down too. All right, let's snug that one right in there, like so. All right, now at this point we can install our pivot in, and you can kind of see, hopefully you guys can see right there, go right there, you can see how it's kind of got like a D shape going on right there where your pivot is. And so same thing here on, it would be, there it is right there. You can kind of see it, yep, right there. You can see the flat spot on that pivot. So that's gonna go face down right there. Let's put a little KPL on here for him. We're gonna put our washer down first. Just a little bit on there. We put our polished washer on it, just like so. We're gonna find that spot again where we like it. There it is right there. Okay, perfect. That one's on there now. I'd like to get our blade going on here now. Let's go ahead and put a little more, just a touch more KPL on the other side of this bearing. So they definitely look a lot nicer when they have the, and I probably don't need a whole lot on there right now, but we'll go ahead and put a little bit on there for them. Actually, before we do this, why don't we put our pivot back in there, and we'll actually run the T10 down on this side just to give it a nice little snug down. And that was this one right here. Like I said, I think they're actually the exact same. They appear to be the exact same size on both sides, at least thread pitch and length. So I'm gonna make sure we get that nice and snug down. And of course, since it's got that indexing part in there, we're just a little snug down so it's not gonna move or go anywhere on us. Okay, so now we got that going. We got a little bit of oil on there. Let's go ahead and set our blade on. Just like so. We're gonna leave that cocked a little bit down, and we are going to put on our other, there we go, compression lock part of the actual assembly there. We kind of got a little crazy there. We gotta push that down on that right there. And let's put a little bit of KPL on our detent ball. Just a touch on there. And then, you know what I forgot to do? Let's put our other bearing on. Don't forget to do that. Your knife would not work very good with only one bearing on it. So we're gonna throw that one right on there. Then we're gonna come back in with our compression lock bar and try to set that on there like so. Then hopefully we can come in here with our scale and lock that right on just like so. Hopefully you guys caught all that on camera there. Let's go ahead and throw our pivot in for just nice and loose right now, nothing crazy. Just so we're holding it steady. So we're gonna go ahead and just snug that just a little bit to keep everything locked in. Then we're gonna start at our back of our lineup of screws. We're gonna go ahead and throw that one on there. Just like so. Awesome. All right, we've got it in there now. Let's go just to make sure our compression lock is working fine, detent's working fine. Everything seems to be happy. Just to make sure before we go putting the rest of it together. Let's go ahead and snug this one down also. Snug this one in here. All right, now we're in business. Let's go ahead and check our centering here. That looks about to be perfectly centered. It's kind of favoring this side a little bit. So let's go ahead and tighten up our body screw, see if that does anything for our centering. You know, sometimes it kind of can really mess with your centering when you, let's go ahead and just tighten our pivot up a little bit more. That looks pretty good right there. Got our blade centering about pretty much right on the money, right where we want it. Let's go ahead and tighten the rest of our body screws up on this side. Should be pretty good right there. Let's check the action. Oh yeah, looks great. Oh, I got the reverse plate good now. I think it might have just been the clip that was messing with me. I'm right-handed. Steven always puts his clips on the left side, of course, because he's left-handed, so that makes perfect sense for him. So, yeah, that's exactly how you tear down. Well, we better put our clip back on just to get it completely where we need it here. So thread one of them down, get our other one started. I think this one could definitely be pretty good with a deep carry clip on it. Like I said, all the tools are going to be down linked in the description, all the KPL. I did not use Loctite on this one just yet. I'm going to go back through and Loctite the pivot down for them. So just want to make sure we get everything locked down smooth. Everything is operational before you go Loctiting anything down. And also just make sure you get set where you like it for your, of course, your centering, how you want your action to be. You know, if you want it stiffer or looser, you can loosen your pivot up, tighten it up. Just make sure there's no blade play, no up and down, no pull, like that, and that works good. So that's the Yojimbo 2 in a nutshell, how to maintain and disassemble, and definitely take care of it, because this thing is definitely a user. You can see he's even starting to wear off some of the coating on the blade there. So that is awesome to see. So, all right, guys, until next time, thanks.